Welcome back to Out of Left Field. Bill Pavlick has been a successful athlete in the Hazleton area for a long time. Back in high school, he was part of one of the most successful basketball teams in our area's history at West Hazleton High School.
Thanks to the talent that I had around me, my high school team happened to go 26-0. We were the first team in West Hazleton history that ever won a district championship.
What was your role on that team?
I was the guy who gave everyone else the ball so they could score.
Someone had to do that.
I was the point guard, and I wasn't a really good shooter, and so we had people on our team, the other four guys could shoot the ball well, rebound, and so it was my job mainly to get the ball, get it up court as fast as I could because we were a fast break team, and distribute it.
After dental school, Dr. Bill Pavlick came back to the area, but life was a little bit different.
When I came back here from dental school, my idea of, I guess my father's generation was when you come back and you begin to work, you go home after work at night, you kind of, have a beer and some potato chips after dinner and you watch TV and that's it. And I did that for a long time. And then the JCC started an over 30 basketball league. And some friends of mine asked me if I wanted to play, and I said, sure. And I hadn't played basketball in about 5 or 6 years. I was heavier, a little bit out of shape. And I remember the first game we had, I stole the ball on the first play. And I was going down the court. The JCC, as you may recall, isn't a really long court. But I drove down the court and I left my feet for a layup mentally where I used to do it when I was in great shape, a little bit inside the foul line. And I ended up being 3 feet short of the rim, missed a layup, and I kind of said to myself, you know what, I'm never going to get in this position again. And I started working out, and I thought, when you get a little bit older, if you stop working out, it's hard to get back in shape. So I've never really stopped. And as I said, thank God I was blessed with a wife who's somewhat understanding, and she allowed me to do my thing.
Back in shape, Pavlick started playing a lot of racquetball at the Hazleton Y. He even won a state racquetball championship in the senior division when he was 65 years old. If I were him, I would have brought my gold medal home, hung it on a wall, found my spot on the couch, and picked up where I left off years before with those potato chips. But that's not Pavlick's story. He didn't slow down. He didn't pick up the chips. He picked up a new sport, pickleball.
Once you start playing pickleball, and my goal is to get you to play it, by the way, you won't leave it. It is such a fun game, and it could be enjoyed on so many different levels. It could be enjoyed on a very basic level where people just want to socially get together and play an hour or two of pickleball, or it could be at a very competitive level if you want to work on your game.
Pavlick is a very goal-oriented person. He set his mind to success in pickleball, and he finished second in singles at the 2023 National Senior Games in Pittsburgh and third in doubles with his partner Mark Gilliford. That's all wonderful, but can he get me off of the couch and away from the potato chips to play some pickleball? We'll see. For now, let's get back to the story and Pavlick's love of the sport.
I think I could say, although I'm not a tennis player, but I think I could say from people that I've spoken with who are tennis players that the workout you get in a singles pickleball match is better than the workout you might get in a singles tennis match. Doubles is not quite the same workout, but it's almost like playing chess on a ping pong table. It is so thought-provoking. You've got to, outthink your opponent. It doesn't always develop into a smash game, but they're both enjoyable.
Sometimes Pavlick teams up with his daughter Katie to play doubles. Katie Pavlick was a successful tennis player at the Hazleton Area High School, and now she's the head coach for the girls program there. Tell me about your dad and that a little bit. Was he always like this? Always competitive? Always going?
Always.
Yeah.
Mainly with basketball, making sure we all played basketball growing up. That was his love of the sport. He never played tennis before. So when I started playing at a young age and in high school, he'd come out and hit with me once in a while, but he never really got the skill of tennis. And then he picked up pickleball. And that's the end of it now. The competitiveness is out for sure, and it's great having him as a partner.
Was it motivating for you as kids looking up to that, or is it just like, okay, Dad's taking us out to do this again, so we're doing it?
A little bit of both.
Yeah, a little bit of both, yeah.
He was very hard on us in the sense of mastering things, especially in, like I said, in basketball. But it was nice because we had somebody to play with all the time. There was somebody that was pushing us and motivating us no matter what we did. So that was nice.
When Katie plays with her dad, he has to play down in her age division, which is 19 to 35, and she has to play at his skill level. She says her dad holds his own against the younger players. Together they've won some local tournaments, and they place first in their age group at the Philadelphia Open.
So this is something that only my dad and I have in common. My other siblings don't play. So it was a nice connection that I wanted with him. When he started a couple years ago, he came to me and said, "You should play." I didn't really love it. I was more a tennis player, and the more I kept playing, and then we entered tournaments, and then it was like, this is something Dad and I are going to do. We're just going to be partners until he's done and can't do it anymore.
Bill Pavlick really wants me to get on the court, but I think I need a little more motivation to get going, so I talk with two of his friends and fellow pickleball players.
What is it about it that is so addictive?
It's easy and challenging both at the same time. You think it's easy, but as you grow to know the sport, you feel like there's a lot more challenges to it. And as you grow to know the sport, you get to know a lot of more people that are also competitive, and that's where you just fall in love with the game.
I was a pretty avid tennis player. I used to play 4 or 5 times a week, and a friend of mine just introduced me to the game, and I fell in love with it right away, and I quickly stopped playing tennis altogether. It's just a much more, I think it's a fun social sport. When I was in tennis, I actually had trouble getting a foursome together. With pickleball, you show up and there's 20 people playing, so, and make a lot of new friends, which is nice.
Alright, so even though I had a huge lunch of leftover Chinese food, I pick up a paddle and help Pavlick accomplish another one of his goals. How did my pickleball debut go?
You pointed out one thing to me. I was kind of just flopping my hand around there. You said, keep solid with your arm.
Yeah.
That one tip made all the difference.
Sure. I would say pickleball, like any other sport, is a technique game, but the techniques are not as complicated as golf, for instance, or tennis even. And so with a few little reminders or tips, I think anyone could get to a level that you experienced.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this is genuine. I had a lot of fun. I think anybody who just came out and spent, like you said, just jump in there for a few smacks, a few rounds, and you'll probably be hooked.
Pavlick has an infectious energy. After doing this story, it's easy for me to see him as the facilitator of a championship basketball team or helping grow the sport of pickleball in the area while inspiring people of all ages to get up and leave the potato chips behind.
Be active, enjoy the game, enjoy the sport of your choice, whatever that may be, whether it's walking your dog for a mile a day. Stay active, and I think that keeps you having a younger mentality. I think it keeps you healthier for sure. And I think it opens up doors to friendships and to other things, yeah.
Coming up, a story about fantasy football and friendship. We'll learn about 44 years of the GFL next.